entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Hello, and welcome to the 6th episode of the IRS Would Take podcast. I'm Liam Spellman.
And I'm Max Adams.
Hey, we got it again. We got a lot to get into this week. As usual, we love talking sports with you guys. For starters, recently the NBA has figured out when they're going to play basketball next year.
Yeah.
That was pretty big news right there.
Yeah, we've been waiting on that one ever since the season really ended,
Right,
honestly.
It was always up in the air.
Mhm.
We're going to get a little bit into the lack of moves at the NFL trade deadline happened. That seems like it's a common theme.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate.
Yep, and then a little more of the Thursday night football game with the 49ers Packers. And our 2-minute drill that we always like.
Yeah, 2-minute drill, and then we got the MLB season as it comes to a close. You saw us do NFL trade deadline moves that we want to see, NBA trade deadline moves, or NBA offseason moves that we want to see, and now we're going to get into the MLB a little bit. But not as complete, because the MLB offseason has been like the NFL trade deadline in a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, just got a lot of other fun segments that you guys love at home.
Yeah. So without further ado, the first part of our show, the NBA restart, or NBA upcoming season. So December 22nd is when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think it's too early. What are your thoughts?
See, there's kind of two sides of it, and I've been listening to like Brian Windhorst and some of those other guys that kind of are fixtures in the NBA circuit.
Yep.
So I guess they have TV deals where TNT gets opening night and then ESPN gets Christmas, but ESPN was going to be out of the contract or out of like a deal there, out of money, if they didn't go towards if they didn't trend towards that direction and start before Christmas. So it looks like we're gonna have Christmas basketball.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that was the driving force too.
Yeah,
Because that's one of the best. Like you just watch, spend time with your family and you watch basketball.
Yeah, football has Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Christmas has NBA.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess a lot of it had to do with more of the financial terms than like the
100%.
player agreement, I guess, because there was a group of star players, which I assume were made up of Kyrie and or Chris Paul.
Yeah,
And
I would assume Chris Paul. He's usually always in those player decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he would be kind of leading the charge as far as like an alternate starting point, like the one to disagree with it. I think because Kyrie's the president of.
I think Chris Paul's the president.
Chris Paul
of the Players Association.
Yeah,
there's so many.
Kyrie just got a role this year that was had something to do with Players Association.
Okay. Yeah.
But if anybody's gonna disagree with starting time that everybody else agrees on, it's gonna be led by Kyrie and like a bunch of other different like randoms.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it was financial, and a lot of it too was not even the TV contracts. It was how much money that the players were going to lose out on due to the shortened season.
Right, because usually it starts in October, like late October. But I mean, it's only like a 2-month layoff for the players.
Yeah.
You might not see LeBron for the first month and a half.
That's what they're worried about, because they're going to have to load manage, and then they're going to lose game checks because they're not playing.
I know, you thought load management was like bad like previously. It's gonna like Kawhi might play 72 game season. Kawhi might play 20.
yeah, some very small portion.
No way I'll play back-to-back games.
Sure. Yeah, it's sketchy, but I like it because Christmas basketball, and like that was what I was talking about when we first talked about this sort of topic. I think it was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
I was talking about how I was gonna miss Christmas basketball, but I understand where they're coming from. But this kind of gives us the best of both worlds, I guess.
I would say
in the middle.
as a fan, I'm so excited. We literally we're gonna have NBA basketball next, like in a month, in a couple weeks, and then we're gonna have. But if I'm a player, I'm like, come on. If I'm the Warriors, because they're all healthy, or maybe the Nets, they're all like the healthy teams. I'm like, let's go. But if I'm the guy our team that made a deep run in the playoffs, like
the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Heat, the Celtics, all are gonna load manage the hell out of their stars.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of a 72-game season. That's like, because it's back to close to normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hate that at all. Yeah, because it kind of gives us the same timeline, and we were just kind of missing October through November,
Right.
which is kind of
This is-
irrelevant anyways,
yeah.
because nobody is like really paying attention to those games unless it's like opening night.
Exactly.
So,
Opening night until like late November, or early December, I should say.
mm.
Like the whole month of November is like, oh.
Yeah, like November is kind of like we're still in football mode. December is kind of when it starts to get more of a toss up. Obviously, football is more favored in that, right? But yeah, it's gonna be definitely something to watch. And then you got to see what they do with the fans, what they do with like if they resort to a bubble again at some point.
Still a lot of questions to
Yeah,
answer.
a lot of question marks on here.
And then going to the NFL, segue to the NFL. I don't know what it is, but there's literally like one or two moves per year in that deadline.
And there were so many moves that were like
Talked about.
that they were circulating through the media that seemed like they were more likely than not going to get made.
Yeah.
John Ross didn't get moved. Will Fuller didn't get moved. There was no QBs dealt to teams that need QBs.
Yeah.
But
And I think both of us thought maybe at least one quarterback was gonna make a change.
yeah, I thought at the very least it was going to be Dwayne Haskins because they seem to like be on the way out with him. Obviously, Fitz you want there just in case Tua implodes.
I think the Cowboys they might start like a fifth string quarterback this year.
Yeah. Who are the two this week? Cooper Rush and Garrett Gilbert.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I remember Cooper Rush from the Oklahoma State the lateral game that they won at the buzzer. That he was the quarterback on that team. He had two kind of like miracle plays that he started, and that's all I remember from him. And then Garrett Gilbert was a Texas product. He was the one that came in after Colt McCoy.
Oh, wow. Way back then.
Yeah. So he's been around for a while, but they're both awful.
Yeah, literally fourth and fifth quarterbacks.
Awful. They've done cool things to end college. And that's nothing in that.
I would have liked to see Fitzpatrick go to the Cowboys.
The Fitzpatrick going to the Cowboys would make them a playoff contender. Not like they're not.
I would say
going
they
to
would
win
have-
the playoffs, but they're.
They would have won, and they probably they would have won the division. I'd
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
But they're not winning anything with either Danucci, your boy,
Gucci Danucci.
or a fourth or fifth string quarterback.
Yeah. Garbage.
And then sticking with the NFL still, the Thursday night game. Packers are both our teams, Packers 49ers. Meanwhile, that wasn't really your team because no one was even playing last night for the 49ers.
Yeah, we had a Kevin White sighting, which was unreal.
Couldn't
by
tell
the
you.
way. I didn't know when we made that move. I didn't know that he was still a person. I found out a lot of things. That guy Rick Courcroft,
Yeah.
horrible.
What's
Get out of the league.
Yeah, he couldn't catch a ball.
Awful.
Or anything.
Horrible.
What's his name? Richie James?
Richie James,
Yeah, nice
our
game.
return specialist.
Yeah, nice game.
Dropped like 2 passes in the
Yeah.
numbers, but he had a lot of yards. He
Yeah.
was decent. I mean, that's all we could hope for.
Yeah.
Nick Mullins looked like the most incapable quarterback I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That one interception.
He just threw because Preston Smith was coming out and he just threw it
Yeah,
up.
and how about the Green Bay defense not being soft this week, huh?
Yeah. Thank God. Because if they let Nick Mullins and that offense score more than 20 points, I don't think I can be a fan anymore.
There were some people that actually took the Niners in this game just based off Kyle Shanahan, and I was like, there's only so much you can do when you're getting your whole practice squad as your starting offense.
Plus the Packers are going to score too. Like they might not stop anyone, but they're still going to score.
Yeah, at the very least, I wish that Trent Williams was there because that would have lessened the blow a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that whole left side of the defense was just bullying whoever we had in. He was horrible. Oh, it was
a rough outing for the 49ers, but you expected that.
Yeah, we all knew that this game was going to be more leaning towards the Packers, especially once we got to like Tuesday when the COVID breakouts.
Exactly.
We definitely got the worst end of that because you guys lost Jamal Williams, AJ Dillon, but they aren't starters. We lost our entire starting receiving core and Trent Williams. So it was just unfortunate. On top of the injuries that we just suffered, so it was a CFL team out there.
Yeah. It was bad.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I don't blame you.
I made my peace with it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. Let's make your piece, but let's do one of our favorite segments now, our 2-minute drill, NFL 2-minute drill. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah. Week
I'll turn that up.
8. Let's go. We start in Carolina, where technical difficulties. All right, ready, break.
There we go.
We start in Carolina, where we saw more twist than an M. Night Shyamalan movie. An XFL player being used, a safety taking a designed handoff, a Matty Ice rushing touchdown, and most unexpected of all, the Falcons kept the lead. Atlanta 25, Carolina 17.
In Detroit, it was the battle of Taylor and Swift. But both Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift were a blank space in this game. Instead, Philip Rivers had a great game, and he told actually his 9 kids after the game to expect more brothers and sisters, because I'm feeling 22. Indy 41, Detroit 21.
In Cleveland, where the winter breeze turned into San Andreas in the blink of an eye, and then there was a football game apparently. Hunter Renfrow did something besides do your taxes as he scored the game's only touchdown, while the Browns offense posted less points than members in Baker Mayfield's book club. In other words, the Browns got flushed. Cleveland 6, yeah, Raiders 16.
In Green Bay, the Packers got cooked by Dalvin Cook, who looked simply unstoppable Sunday. He was running through the Packers' D like Miley Cyrus was in a music video, Wrecking Ball. However, Aaron Rodgers had a little magic at the end, but it wasn't enough. Minnesota 28, Green Bay 22.
In B-More, where apparently Hollywood Brown wants John Harbaugh to use his soldiers because they won't turn his swag on. As Big Ben's funny bone proved, it is nothing to laugh at. The Steelers remain the last unbeaten team. Baltimore 24, Steelers 28.
In Miami, Andrew Van Ginkel showed the NFL that he might have the best name on his 78-yard fumble return that he took to the house. While Jared Goff must have been eating some apple turnovers the night before because he couldn't hold on to the ball for anything. Miami 28, LA 17.
In Seattle, where we saw the 49ers go down as often as Jamal Murray's girlfriend, as DJ Khaled Dallas saw the field and the end zone for the first time this season, as him and the Seahawks were just suffering from its success. Seattle 37, San Francisco 27.
In Cincinnati, the Titans needed a little Herman Boone motivation in order to win this game. Meanwhile, the Bengals looked to have found the diamond in the rough with Joe Tiger King Burrow, who looks to have the making of a franchise quarterback. Cincy 31, Tennessee 20.
In Chi-Town, where Javon Williams went ludicrous, he came, he saw, he hit C.J. Gardner-Johnson right dead in the jaw. But the Saints marched into overtime as Will.i.am Lutz called game. Chicago 23, Who Dat Nation 26.
In Kansas City, we saw an assault given to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Mahomes literally carried Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Chiefs' offense to victory. The Jets didn't stand a chance. In fact, they looked so bad that I'm taking Warford High School football team over in a better game for them. Kansas City 35, the 0-8 Jets 9.
In Philly, where Ben DiNucci was not even remotely Gucci, in typical NFC East fashion, as Carson Wentz continues to be just good enough, much to the expense of Max Kellerman. Philly 23, Dallas 9.
In Buffalo, it seemed like Cam Newton was throwing to high school JV football players like Jacoby Myers and Isaiah Suber. No disrespect though, feel bad for them, but you can't be winning games with those guys as your receivers. The Patriots almost pulled it off though at the end with a late Cam Newton football fumble, but that hopes to better. Buffalo 24, New England 21.
In MetLife, where the G-Men looked to be on track to pull off one of the biggest underdog wins since Average Joe's Gym. But surprise, surprise, Tom Brady gets bailed out again by the Foot Locker employees posing as officials. You heard me, Foot Locker employees. There's no real reason that official would have picked up that flag. The G-Men 23, Tampa Bay 25.
In Denver, the Chargers channeled the inner Atlanta Falcons and blew yet another lead. You would think a 24-3 lead is good enough, right? No, not when you have Drew Lock in his A-plus rapping game behind center as he connected with KJ Hamler for the game winner. Denver 31, Atlanta 30.
My bad for selling the bag on that first set of that. My hands panicked. I couldn't find my notes, and we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to move on.
Well, good. Another good segment right there.
Yes, sir.
All right, what we got next? Takeaways?
Yeah, we got to get into some takeaways. So it was a hell of a week for one-win teams. We had the Vikings, we had the Bengals, and we had the Falcons all coming out and getting pretty big upsets, honestly, because the Packers throttled the Vikings week 1. So we had I know you and I both were they're gonna do the same thing. We had all the fantasy guys in our lineups this week from Green Bay, and they choked. Yeah. They were soft.
Couldn't stop Dalvin Cook for anything.
No.
That was one of the best games for a running back that I've ever seen.
Oh my God, he dominated. It looked like Derrick Henry high school highlights.
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
Have you seen some of Derrick Henry's stats in high school?
Yes, it was stupid.
Oh my God.
Stupid.
If you haven't seen that, look up Derrick Henry in high school. It's probably the craziest thing you'll ever see.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, Packers, they were terrible.
Yeah.
There's no denying that. I can't even defend them.
Yeah, they were softer than baby's back end. I would say that they were soft. I like baby food, honestly.
Yeah,
Baby food. I'll go baby food, right? Yeah, they were horrific. Every time that Dalvin Cook came at them full speed, they were like, all right, you can go ahead, Matador.
That's what they can't tackle. So that's why I wanted them to make a move. I wasn't even like Wolf. I wanted them to get Wolf at the deadline, but I wanted them to get somebody on defense that can tackle. They lost Blake Martinez from last year, who was first or second best tackler last couple of years.
Was he traded or did he sign with the Giants?
He signed with the Giants.
He went there
They
willingly.
let him go. They let him go. But well, they signed him pretty good money, but
Yeah,
still.
But still, that's a questionable life
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah, yikes. No, but not. But the Bengals though, against the Titans have lost 2 straight. Like, what's the deal with them?
I don't know. I had the Titans as potential, like coming out of the AFC a couple weeks ago, following the Bills game. Because I thought they looked amazing, and they looked. I don't understand what's going on with their defense. They had, what did they bring in Jadeveon Clowney?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Is he in a sack this year?
I don't know. I haven't heard his name one time.
Yeah.
And their front seven has been terrible, and their secondary has been with the exception of like Malcolm Butler,
Yeah.
who always does what like he's
He's
supposed
always
to
good
do.
enough, yeah.
Yeah. So like I don't understand why they're so bad. And they have all the same guys. I was just talking about this last week. They have all the same guys.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
And Mike Vrabel is a defensive guy. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, Mike Vrabel did play both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
He did play both sides of the ball. I think he tried to do another genius coaching move this week. Didn't he purposely take a safety? Is that something that I heard?
I don't know.
I heard that he purposely took a safety. I remember 2 weeks ago he pushed out and did the purpose 12-man flag to save time. I don't know if he did the same. That sounds
I didn't
crazy.
see that. I can't imagine. Come on, you're gonna give your team a six. What does that do to help?
I think he knew that it was like, I think it was third down, and he just had because they wanted because he knew that he was going to give Joe Burrow the ball in the middle of the field, so he was just like field position game. Like 2 guys, I guess. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Okay.
But,
Interesting.
Yikes! Mike Vrabel might be smarter than all of us.
Yeah, I mean, he does have an NFL coaching job, so
Yeah.
might as well. I got one question for you though. Are the Steelers the best team in the league? Only undefeated team. Do you think they're? I think I still have trouble saying they're the best, even though they're the only undefeated team. I still am taking the Chiefs, I'd say, but you can't deny that.
No, they're definitely top 2. I just have a really hard time putting them over the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Just because they haven't really missed a beat, with the exception of the Raiders game, which was kind of a fluky game.
Right.
Like the Raiders, I think the Raiders beat them rather than KC lost that game, because the Raiders played really well and KC put up 30 points.
Yeah.
So I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah. No, I think the Chiefs are the best team in the league. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much have to say they're number 2, the Steelers.
Yeah.
Their defense is great. If Big Ben starts playing a little better, and they keep winning more games, you can definitely say they're the best team in the league.
See, it must be such a luxury to have your biggest like flaw be an established quarterback.
Yeah. A Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, like James Conner could be that too, but James,
No,
he's playing really well.
Playing
So
well,
it's just more of a question mark type of thing, because we had the last year incident.
Right.
But
No, but he's playing well. The receivers are playing well.
The receiving staff is gross.
Probably the best. They have 3 of the best in the game, like in terms of receiver depth, I'd say.
Yeah, receiver depth.
Outside the Buccaneers, not bad.
Yeah, but it would probably go Chiefs, Bucks,
Seahawks with Lockett and Metcalf.
But then it's just those 2 guys.
I mean, they're
They're 2 really good guys,
Yeah.
but Pittsburgh has 4 guys.
Yeah.
So I would say they're probably 3rd, right below the Bucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a hard time putting them over.
Yeah. So do I. That was just something coming because they're undefeated, so you got to give them credit.
Right. I got to get to my weekly Cam defense though.
Okay. Yeah.
Again,
That poor guy.
he gets under so much fire, and none of it's his fault.
He's doing like there was no one. I've never seen any less like relevant receivers in my entire life.
He has no skills positions to work with. His running back by committee thing. I mean, Damian Harris had a good week last week, and
He actually has been playing well. Yeah.
Damian Harris had a couple good games, but Cam has been putting them in positions to win. Like he put them in a position to win that game.
against the Bills.
And yeah, against the Bills, and he did the same thing against Seattle. So he's had glimpses of like a great quarterback, but the last play, I can't stress this enough. They were on their 20 or the opponent's 20.
It seems
It was a chip shot field goal, and he fumbled on like the 11.
Yeah.
But if you have no intention of trying to score the ball there, and you're just getting insurance yards, hand the ball off to the running back that are supposed to run.
Supposed to hand, yeah.
Because
That's a good point, yeah.
QBs are more vulnerable to fumble the ball than people that are paid to run the ball all the time.
I did, yeah.
So there's that, and if you're not going to take that route, take shots at the end zone and try to win the game, though. Stop being passive.
How much time?
There was.
Was it under a minute, or was it?
It was way under a minute.
Yeah.
It was like 35 seconds.
Was it really?
Something like that. It was low.
So they were gonna run and then call timeout and kick it, or?
I think they were. I think the plan was to run and then probably run again, and then call the timeout and kick the field goal, because they clearly with that running play they had no intention to take a shot at the end zone, which doesn't make an ounce of sense if you're already in chip
Right,
shot.
'cause if it was in the 10-yard line, maybe I get that, because Cam can give you 10 yards, but he's not gonna give you a 25-yard run.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
And there was no reason to put him in the position, especially if he gets hurt in that situation where he doesn't really need to be carrying the ball there, when you could just, if you're looking to get insurance yards,
Give it to Damian Harris, who had 100+ yards.
yeah, get a 105-yard game. Like I don't understand the logic there. Like I understand that Cam is your best player on your team and you want to put the ball in his hands, but if you want to put the ball in his hands, have him throw the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to run there.
Right.
So that's my weekly Cam defense.
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel for that guy, because they look great in the first 2 weeks, and he looks great, and then they've gone downhill.
Yeah,
They're 2-5, right?
2-5, yep. And they've just gotten passive, and more passive.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying because Cam is doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the San Francisco game was the exception because he wasn't.
Right.
He was bad in San Francisco. I'll give you guys that.
That was rough. You can't really defend it.
Yeah, no, I can't.
But
But I can.
you gotta give him some. Why did they make a deal at the deadline? Give him, because Edelman's out. He was your only relevant player.
Yeah, you had probably 3 teams that should have made a move.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, the Pats, and the Eagles, I would say, and then maybe the Packers.
Yeah.
Because the Packers could probably live without one,
Right.
but it would have added just that much more if they would have got one. But those 3 teams are in playoff races and are in desperate need of help.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wanna go on our pick'ems?
Yep. Let's get into it.
All right, so we had a Thursday night game the other day, so we can't talk about that. Go Packers though. But Seahawks Bills, great matchup right there. I'm hoping Josh Allen can get back on track, because I like seeing him as a player. But I'm gonna take the Seahawks here.
See, I took Buffalo.
Did you really?
I did. I would
Wow.
call this game a must-win for the Bills, because if they don't win this game, then there's not really a lot of hope from them, because they kind of have like an easy slate. They have they have another matchup with the Dolphins, another matchup with the Pats, and they got relatively an easy schedule moving forward. So when they make the playoffs, because they're probably more likely
They're
than
gonna
not
win
going to
the
win the division.
Yeah.
They have to prove to us that they can beat good teams.
Right.
And they got throttled by the Titans, they got throttled by the Chiefs, and this is their one chance with Seattle's very sus defense
Yeah.
to really take advantage of a good team.
Right. Seattle's defense has. What happened to them? The Legion of Boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough over there for their defense right now. They're another team that can't stop the run.
Yeah. They just got.
Um,
Them and the Packers, they just try to outscore each other.
Exactly. But at some point you have to get a signature win for them. Also, the Seahawks are favored -3, and the over/under is 55. So I like the Bills here with the points, and I think that this game was going to be points, and more points.
Yeah,
Just
no, I
because
definitely
both
like that
defenses are
I
terrible.
like that over, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because I think Josh Allen, I think he's gonna get back on track. Back-to-back 2 kind of subpar weeks.
Yeah.
But so actually, I mean, Stephon Diggs, give him Stephon Diggs. He's been an animal for him. Just keep going to him.
Exactly.
Another game we got, another interesting game here. The Dolphins Cardinals. Tua really didn't have to do much last week, because that was a weird game.
Yeah,
They
that
had
was
a fumble
bizarre game.
return, kick return. They had the Rams had like 400 plus. They had more yards than them, more everything.
I think they only had 195 yards
Yeah.
total offense.
Yeah.
And they had a fumble within their own 10, which gave them an opportunity to get to his first
I
touchdown.
saw that.
So, but I don't think Tua eclipsed 100 yards.
I don't think he did. Yeah.
But yeah, that offense didn't look that great.
Yeah.
But I took the Cardinals. They're favored -4.5. Over under is 48.5. I would take the Cardinals money line here
Yeah.
just because I
I
don't.
think they'll beat it by more, at least a touchdown.
Yeah,
So.
just Miami's defense has proven to be, they're getting there. They're getting there. And
What about the over? I don't like that.
I don't like it either,
Yeah.
just because there's no shot that the defense and special teams contributes as much as they did last week. And
Yeah, I don't
Tua's
like that.
offense does not look good.
No.
I wasn't huge. I wasn't big on that
Yeah.
offense at all.
Unless it's like you said 48.
Yeah, 48 and a half.
Like, I mean, I can see the Cardinals putting up 30 plus points.
No, yeah, I could definitely see the Cardinals because Cardinals, their firepower on offense is incredible. But you have to get both sides
Right.
of production there on the
Yeah.
offensive end, and I don't think Tua
Yeah.
has that.
No, I can't see that either. Another good matchup here: the Bears Titans. What do you got?
I got Titans, but I'll take the money line here, and I'll also take the under. Both these teams have been incredibly flat 2 weeks in a row. But before those 2 weeks, the Titans like I said, the Titans look like a legit threat.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of what Titans team feels like showing up.
Yeah, no, I got the Titans here. I think it's gonna be a Derrick Henry type game. Just let him run. What's
The over under is 47.
Mhm.
Like the Bears'
Then
offense has been horrendous.
They might even go back to. I don't know what the hell. Like Nick Foles. Because they were talking about the last game, like, oh, like Mr. Trubisky's like, oh, give me another chance, blah blah blah. But I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't. Either way, you're gonna have a bad quarterback at helm. So
If
like,
they had a better quarterback, they could be dangerous. The Bears.
I feel so bad for Allen Robinson. He stormed off and went into the locker
I
room
did see
during
that.
the game. Like,
Yeah.
just
Because when he's healthy, he's a very good receiver.
I saw also a highlight of Darnell Mooney, their slot receiver.
Yes.
He was cooking routes and the balls were like 10 yards.
I
behind
saw
him.
that same thing. He could have had every play that was like 4 different plays that could have 4 different touchdowns for him in this year, and he was destroying these guys with his route running.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a product of the O line or it just shows how bad the quarterback play is, but either way, that is disappointing beyond belief.
I did see that. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. Another good record-wise games, the Ravens and Colts. This is an interesting game because the Colts have the best defense in the league. Ravens have been not good for a team that is as good as they should be.
Right.
What do you got?
So the Ravens are favored -1.5. I would take that all day. I think that if they're going to win, it's probably going to be more than or at least 3.
Yeah.
So that's an easy take. The over/under is 49, and I'm kind of tentative towards that because the Colts. You don't know what the Colts offense is going to bring week to week, and if Lamar isn't being the dual threat QB that we knew as the MVP, they're not really scoring a lot either. So I don't love that, but the fact
Who do you got winning? Yeah.
I got the Ravens. I got the Ravens, and I got them with the points. The fact that these teams are even comparable, though, is beyond me.
I mean, the Colts, their defense has been the #1 defense in the league, and that's kind of what's been hanging. Phil Rivers has been another guy that's been good enough to win games.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see it, like how they. I think at one point, if they start losing, like if they lose 2 or 3 straight, I think you have to go to Jacoby Brissett to get you through to the playoffs.
I don't see them doing that.
I don't-
Just because Phil Rivers is the type of guy he is. I'd rather have Rivers than Jacoby Brissett.
See,
I mean, he's a proven quarterback, not per se in the playoffs,
yeah.
but I'd still give my chance for a perennial Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's a true Hall of Famer. It's up in the air.
He's definitely lost his way.
Yeah.
But I just think that if you get on like a cold streak and you need a game, I would rather have Jacoby Brissett.
I wouldn't. Like, I could see that, but I don't think that's happening.
I don't think, honestly, yeah, probably not, but I think they should,
Okay.
just at the very least, just because Philip Rivers gave them a reputation in San Diego of being like the Falcons.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit these last 2: Sunday night and Monday night. Sunday night, Saints Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna take the Buccaneers in that one.
See, I took the Saints if Michael Thomas is playing, which it looks
I think
like
he is,
he's
yeah.
supposed to.
I think he is.
So I took the Saints, I took the points, and I took the under.
Okay.
The under.
Got it. And then the Monday night game. This is terrible. The Patriots and Jets.
Yeah, I took the Pats with the points, but this game screams under. But yeah, I don't care about this game. This game
Yeah.
sucks.
All right. And then we got for the against the spreads part quickly here. This is a cool thing we had. Just kind of taking against the spread. So what do you got with yours?
I got the Bills. The Bills +3. Seattle is only 2 weeks removed from a Cardinals loss, and I would argue that the Bills are a far better team. And they're 10-4 against the spread with both teams that have equal amount of risk.
Yeah.
In
Saints in mind, but let's go. What do you want to do here? You want to go into our little kind of parlay thing that we talked about real quick?
Yeah, so I think the parlay to take this weekend is the Ravens, the Cardinals, and the under on Monday Night Football. I think all of those are pretty good bets, and will probably win you a good amount of money if you do.
Yeah, I would definitely say that Monday night game we didn't talk about because it's not a good game.
Mhm.
The fact that the Jets are in prime time is crazy, but I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.